Emily. She's in the sisterhood. She says, "Hey sisters, I wanted to share my small win. While I have not been perfect at following gluten and dairy free and don't work out as often as I should, I have lost 35 pounds since spring. Small, consistent changes are showing their impact."
It's amazing.
Yes.
Congrats, Emily. 35 pounds since spring. That's a lot of weight.
That is a lot.
Doctor said you got PCOS. Now go on, girl, just lose some weight. Till I took the symptoms into my own hands and reversed them naturally. So I became a dietitian to help my sisters feel the best they've ever felt. Take a step in my direction if you wanna prove them wrong and take control of yourself. Join a sister and a mister.
Welcome, everybody, to another captivating episode of A Sister and Her Mister with Tallene, your PCOS registered dietitian, and her husband, PCOS personal trainer.
Do you have to pause after every word?
I mean,
Registered dietitian.
I just thought that's what they do.
Her PC
I
person.
feel like that's what they do. Okay, you know what? Forget this. This is why we don't do an official intro. We just go into it.
Yes,
So,
a natural intro.
with that being said, for the last 24 hours, Tallene and me have been doing this infrared light
Oh my
therapy.
gosh, another word you can't pronounce. Say it again.
Infrared. How do you say it?
I think it's like infrared and there's an R. Okay, go. Continue.
So anyways, we got this thing in the mail. It's about the size of like a life-size mirror, like something you put on the wall to look at yourself when you're trying on clothes. And it basically shoots out red light. And it's like red light therapy. A friend of ours basically has a red light therapy company, and he told us, we'll send you one for free if you want to try it out. So we're going to try it out, see how it goes. And if it's really helpful, maybe we might talk about it on this podcast, give some sort of a discount code or something. But we just want to test it out first and see like what it's about. We have no idea like how it's going to go. But so far, Tallene, how do you feel?
I tried it last night and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Like at first I was like, and then 5 minutes in, I feel like my body, it was almost like I was at acupuncture. Like I started to just get on this level of calm that I wasn't on, and it's not that I wasn't calm. It was nighttime. I was like going to go to bed anyways, but it just like soothed and massaged my brain is what it felt like. It felt like I was in acupuncture, and I started to like look up the benefits while I was doing it. And I saw that of course, I knew like it helps reduce inflammation, but I was also reading about like how women with PCOS, there were studies on women with PCOS with infrared light therapy and how it helps with insulin sensitivity and androgen levels. And I was like, this is really interesting. So I can't wait to like continue doing it consistently, because apparently you have to do it at the same time every day.
Oh, really?
For 10 to 15 minutes or 10 to 20 minutes. And I wanted to do it more. And
really?
Yeah, like I wanted to do it as soon as I woke up, because I like felt so good after, my night of sleep.
And it has
really
like
rested.
It has different presets too. Like for example, for nighttime, you can say sleep, and it does like a 10 or 20 minute thing. Like for 10 to 20 minutes, it gives you that light, and that light is going to especially help with sleep. There's a setting for skin, etc. And
then I came downstairs after doing it for 20 minutes.
Oh, you look like you were high.
I did.
You look high.
I was like so zen, Siraj.
Yeah.
You know when you get off the acupuncture table and you're just like level 0, nothing bothers you.
I even asked you, I was like, are you okay? Because you looked like you had cried.
Yeah.
Because your eyes were like...
No, I was just really zen. And then I took a nice hot shower, got in bed, and that was that.
Yeah. So we'll let y'all know how it goes long term, but so far it looks really good. I just did a quick Google search for like red light therapy benefits. And even from like the Cleveland Clinic, it says it can help with acne, better sleep, weight loss, decreasing inflammation, skincare, joint pain, wrinkles, scars. The list actually continues more than that.
Yeah,
so
totally.
Really interesting.
My skin, did you notice last night after I did it? I was like glowing. Like, sure. I'm telling you.
Maybe, I don't know.
It was like I just had sex.
Okay, wow.
That's the kind of skin you want. All right.
Cool. So we're going to go into today's episode, and we're going to be talking about trendy diets that went viral for PCOS. Which of them are helpful? We'll kind of like dig through each one and kind of see like, which one's worth the hype and which one's not.
Yes. So before we get started, let's read some testimonies and amazing stories from sisters.
Yes, these are the wins of the week.
Wins of the week. Starting with Emily and I won't say her last name. She's in the sisterhood. She says, "Hey sisters, I wanted to share my small win. While I have not been perfect at following gluten and dairy free and don't work out as often as I should, I have lost 35 pounds since spring. Even without being perfect, small, consistent changes are showing their impact. I have a long way to go and hope to continue to make these lifestyle changes seamless. If these small changes have had such an impact, I can't imagine what multiple workouts and a perfect gluten and dairy-free diet could do. So wish me luck."
It's amazing.
Yes.
Congrats, Emily. 35 pounds in spring. That's a lot of weight.
That is a lot.
And you've taken so many great steps. So great job. You're doing so good.
I think, it's really important to do it at your own pace so that you can have sustainable results and not force yourself to be perfect at something. Just give yourself some time and kind of get used to the new lifestyle.
Yes. All right. Our next win is from Mariah. She says, "Hey sisters, today makes my 1-week anniversary of joining the sisterhood. Not only have I already lost 5.6 pounds and 2.5 inches off my waist, but I've also saved at least $50 in food costs this week." This is amazing. "We've also had no leftovers, so no wasted food. Me and the girls have loved every single recipe. I feel full, but not heavy. It's great." Wow.
That's
Mariah.
awesome.
I mean, 5.6 pounds in a week, 2.5 inches off my waist. I love to know exactly what she did in the first week, but I'm sure she once you start taking the first few steps, it's like your metabolism reignites. It's like that everything just starts feeling better and the weight just starts melting off. Of course, it starts faster maybe in the beginning, but that's still great sign of progress.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually when someone loses a lot of weight in the beginning, it means they were holding on to a lot of inflammation and that was causing a lot of water retention. And especially if your insulin levels are high, that causes water retention and also blocks fat burning. So once you get those roadblocks out of the way, whether it's going gluten dairy free, you start seeing the results you deserve.
Yeah, my voice grew. Exactly. All right, cool. Well, those are the wins of the weeks. Please write us in with your wins, whether it's on the private Facebook group in the sisterhood or on Instagram. We love to share the wins to everybody because it just makes everybody know that it is possible to lose weight with PCOS and reverse symptoms. With that, we're going to go into today's episode. Again, trendy diets. There's always a constant influx of new diets that go viral, especially on TikTok. I feel like TikTok is like the hub of viral diets, viral drinks, viral everything. And Instagram is kind of like, it comes there afterwards. I don't know. In so many cases, they always promise a quick fix or miraculous results. Oh, drink this hormone mix and it will reduce your cortisol, or drink this mix and it will do that. And
what was that little cocktail everyone was drinking with the tart cherry juice?
Yeah, I don't know. There's I don't
Sleepy Girl cocktail.
Yeah, I don't know who made that. It's just funny though. There's always a new cocktail.
It's a lot of sugar. Why are we? It's so trendy.
Are they actually beneficial, or is it just fun? Especially for those who want to actually manage PCOS symptoms for life. Is it actually fun, or is it one of those things that maybe on the surface looks like it might be helpful, but it's not?
Right. So let's break down some of these popular diets and let's see if they're worth the hype.
Yeah. The first one, I feel like this one is a very common, popular one that people get recommended when they first get diagnosed with PCOS, and that is the keto diet.
Yeah. Typically, you'll hear your doctor say, "Hey, you have insulin resistance, cut out all your carbs, go on the keto diet." And as a registered dietitian, I'm going to tell you this is pretty drastic to lower your carbs down to less than 50 grams per day. It'll help you get in a state of something called ketosis, and this is when your body becomes incredibly efficient at burning fat for energy. Although it sounds really promising, especially if you've been struggling with weight loss over the years, you may find that it's just unsustainable and really difficult to get yourself in a state of ketosis. You have to eat a lot of fat and often a lot of dairy. And so the bottom line with keto is that you're ultimately lowering your carb intake. And when you don't eat those carbs, you are not releasing as much insulin, which is the hormone necessary for you to digest those carbs, right? And so when you don't release a lot of insulin, that's better for insulin resistance. But still, it is a pretty drastic way to lower insulin levels.
Yeah.
Sirak, have you tried it?
So I tried keto so many years ago. It was more than 7, 8 years ago. I've talked about it in the past, but I had a good experience for about a month. The only reason why I couldn't continue it longer was because my mom was making it such a hassle because she was cooking my meals back then. So like every night at dinner it was like an argument. She would make like a whole bowl of rice, and I'd be like, I can't eat rice, like I can't eat carbs, and she'd be like, oh, you're not eating food, you know, like. And then I was like, I can't do it anymore. But like for that 1 month, I'm not gonna lie, like my energy levels was great, and I felt really good. I did have a couple of bowel accidents. Few.
Oh yeah, because you were having MCT.
Yeah, I was
oil.
having MCT oil, and one time I thought it was, I was at the urinal and I was at work, and I thought it was a fart,
Ew.
and it wasn't.
Ew.
But it wasn't that bad. But what happened is, okay, this is so TMI, but I'm just gonna go with it. I went into the stall and basically took my underwear off. Thank God it was contained in the underwear. It was quarantined in the underwear.
Oh my God.
And I threw the underwear in the trash can, and then for the rest of the day at work, I was commando. But hey, I was lucky that it wasn't worse than that.
Yeah. What would you have done?
I don't know. I think I would have just like ran out.
Left.
I would have just left, yeah.
I would have left
I would
work.
have left, not
Yeah.
told anybody.
Well, I tried keto too for a minute, but it was not that serious.
Well, keep in mind, I'm sorry, I'm not to interrupt you. Before you go, I just want to say too, the studies on keto are done predominantly on men. And when you look at the benefits and the comparisons, it really is more so, the benefits are more so for men compared to women. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. I've read that too. I tried keto and it only lasted like 1 day because I have like an aversion to doing things that are stressful on my body. Like it's just,
It's hard the
I was
first
like-
5-7 days.
yeah, I was like, I don't care. This is not going to work out for me for sure. I tried it for a second, didn't eat carbs all day. And then at night, the cravings hit. I was starving. I was eating all of my roommate's snacks at the time I was in college. My mood was all over the place. You know, like it was just not it for me. I couldn't concentrate. Like, no.
Oh yeah. You know, the thing is though, like if you are super insulin resistant, it can help. Like we've had Dr. Nadia Paraguana on the podcast, and she talks a lot about fasting and also about the benefits of keto. And there are benefits of keto short term. And the thing is though, let's say you do it for 6 months and you see great benefits and you lose weight. The thing is, as we can all probably agree, most people can't do keto forever, long term, because forever, who's gonna want to eat less than 50 grams of carbs forever? You can't eat any bread, you can't eat pizza, like things like that for the rest of your life, right? So at some point, you're gonna stop keto. So when you stop keto, if you didn't sustainably get to where you found your carb tolerance, where you removed like inflammatory foods, etc., then that weight gain is gonna the weight gain might come back when your insulin levels go back up again. So that's like kind of the dangers of any diet, where like it might be beneficial in the beginning, and then when you get off of it, because you didn't find the sustainable approach, the weight gain might come back.
I'm glad you brought up Dr. Nadia Paraguana. I love that episode with her. She also mentioned that she went keto and it helped her get pregnant, but then the pregnancy was really difficult because she didn't sustain keto during pregnancy, of course.
I see.
And she had a lot of blood sugar issues. I think she even mentioned gestational diabetes. So she recommended that you heal the insulin resistance. Don't just go keto to get pregnant if that's, something that someone told you to do. The more effective approach is to manage your insulin resistance in a whole body approach through exercise, supplements, diet change, not just the I'm going to go keto for a month, which is going to help me ovulate, and then boom, I'm pregnant, because it can be a rocky ride, the pregnancy. So that's a great episode. If you want to listen to it, you can go back and listen to it. We also recommend discovering your carb tolerance, but this is something we're going to mention at the end of the podcast, some more sustainable things you can try. Shall we move on to the next diet?
Yes. So the next one, and kind of related to what we were talking about earlier, and that is intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting is basically where, let's say you stop eating for 12 to 16, sometimes even longer. So what a lot of people do is the 16-8 method, is where you fast for about 16 hours. You don't eat anything for 16 hours. And then for about the 8-hour period, you eat during that period. So imagine you're having all your calories from 12 to 8, and then from 8 to 12 the next day, you're not eating anything, right? So, John, you want to explain like some of the benefits of this and like basically some of the things about PCOS and fasting?
During that period of time when you're not eating. And let's say you're sleeping or it's the evening and, you've had all of your meals already. That is the period of time where your insulin levels come back down. They're nice and low. Your body is able to repair its cellular function. And having low insulin levels for that period of time will shift your body into fat burning mode. And now you're metabolizing the energy that you had during the day, the energy that is stored in your body, and you're keeping your insulin levels nice and low, which is also great if you're insulin resistant. That period of time is really important to help heal and repair your hormones because maybe they've been bombarded by insulin all day. And so that's what we want to do. There has to be a period of time where you aren't eating. And that's really important in healing insulin resistance and improving your digestion. I've been using something called Lumen, which you breathe into and it measures your carbon dioxide in your breath. And that kind of dictates whether you're in fat burning mode or if you're not in fat burning mode. And so I blow into it in the mornings and it says that I'm in fat burning mode.
Which is good, right?
Which is good because it says that on the days where I eat earlier and I make sure I fast and I don't have snacks later at night. So it's really interesting that this is actually the case. When you're fasting, you actually do shift into fat burning mode.
Yeah. And then do we talk about what we recommend for fasting?
Yeah. Instead of doing really intense fasts, I like to do a 12-hour fast. So 12 hours is ample time for your body to have low insulin levels and for you not to feel like you're starving. Mm-hmm. So eat your last meal around 7 o'clock at night and then have your next meal in the morning around 7 o'clock. And there you have it, a 12-hour fast. You don't have to skip breakfast. You don't have to skip dinner. It's just a normal amount of time that a human's body can stop eating.
Yeah, and some of the benefits also, it's not just the insulin resistance that's improving, but also when you're not constantly eating and you're having that 12-hour window of fasting, your body can actually focus more on rejuvenating your body. So for example, rejuvenating your skin cells, your hair, and further. And it can also help with reducing inflammation because again, your body has more resources to focus on recovery versus digesting food while you're sleeping. So it's a great way to go. And lastly, again, a lot of the studies that are done on intermittent fasting, like the 16-hour fast, are done on 90% men when you look at the research. Unfortunately, that's how a lot of studies are that are done on the general population because men have hormones that really cycle every 24 hours, to put it simply. Whereas women go through a 30-day cycle or a 28-day cycle, basically the menstrual cycle, right? And during that cycle, there are 4 phases. A woman's hormones are a lot more complicated and harder to analyze with data in research studies, which is why they use more men in studies like this because it's easier to kind of investigate and create data analysis from day-to-day hormones versus, a woman's cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
I might have butchered that explanation, but I think most people got what I meant.
No, you didn't butcher that. That's exactly what it is. We're on a 28 or 30-day cycle while men are on a 24-hour cycle. So when you're fasting, it's it's something that's happening in a 24-hour period. It kind of makes more sense to do the research studies on men because it's easier. But they should be doing it on women to figure out what works for us too.
Yes.
Zinc, vitamin D, magnesium, B12, these are all the vitamins that we're deficient in because of PCOS, and the list grows on.
If there was only a way to get all of these into one supplement bundle without going on a massive online search.
Hello.
What?
Isn't that why we created Metabolism Plus?
Oh, you mean our supplement line that covers all the nutrients and vitamins a woman with PCOS needs in one bundle?
Yes. Sisters, when I was diagnosed with PCOS, I was so overwhelmed with researching all the different supplement companies, and eventually I had a huge collection of bottles in my cabinet that I couldn't even keep up with.
So with that in mind, we created a bundle of 4 essential supplements that have the fundamental nutrients for women with PCOS, and it's called Metabolism Plus.
Not only does our bundle include omega-3, coenzyme Q10, curcumin, but it even has a multivitamin designed to fill nutrient gaps that are common in women with PCOS.
And what makes it really special is that all of our supplements are NSF certified, which means they are third-party tested for purity and accuracy.
Head over to ovafit.org to order your Metabolism Plus bundle today.
That's ovafit.org.
Okay, stop smelling. The link is in the description.
How dare you?
Let's talk about apple cider vinegar.
Okay, I see this on TikTok a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it on TikTok a lot.
Yeah, and I actually really like this one.
Yeah.
It's definitely not just a trend or a hype for me. Like,
And we're not talking about chugging apple cider vinegar.
yeah, no, just having a couple tablespoons before a meal can make a
Just one.
difference. Just one.
Yeah, just one's good.
Can make a difference in your absorption of carbs and can slow down your absorption of carbs into your bloodstream,
Yeah.
which is great for insulin resistance.
Yeah, they did a study where PCOS women had 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar per day. And after 40 days, majority of the women resumed ovulating and a measurable reduction in insulin resistance and a decrease in androgen production. This led to less hair loss, fatigue, and weight gain. So that makes sense because by improving insulin sensitivity, that's going to then reduce androgen production, which is going to lead to less hair loss and so forth. So that's great.
Yeah. So for best results, have a tablespoon a day, or you can take kind of like a shot of it, like put it in a shot glass, a tablespoon in a shot
I think like
glass.
we recommend before a meal, right? Because
I'm sorry, I meant before a meal. Yeah.
yeah.
Before a meal. Or if you just don't want to like swallow apple cider vinegar like me, just put it on your salad, call it
Yeah.
a day. You don't need to take shots of vinegar.
I think that's probably the best way to go about it. Just like put it
just
on the
put
food
it on the
itself. Like
food.
don't drink, because also like when you drink apple cider vinegar
Yeah.
straight, it's actually bad for your teeth.
Oh.
So you should either water it down or put it onto your food. That way it's not like you're not getting a full like
Yeah.
direct dosage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, next trendy diet is, and this one is sometimes like really worrying, but 1 meal a day,
Mhm.
or like in some cases like really extreme calorie restriction.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people over the past years say their doctor recommended the OMAD diet.
Yeah.
When we go on Instagram Live, people ask us a lot of questions, and I've seen this question a lot, like, is the OMAD diet good for PCOS? And I mean, the idea with this is that you are likely to lose weight just because you're taking in fewer calories than normal and your eating pattern is like basically down to nothing. You just have one meal in a day. And it's just really extreme. So I don't really recommend it. And it has a lot of side effects. And frankly, when something is really restrictive like that, it can lead to binge eating later.
Yeah.
Like you may be really good at it for a day or two, but eventually you're going to want to eat.
I mean,
Like,
you
this
get
is-
so hungry. Like,
Yeah.
if you eat all day, it's just like you're like really increasing your fasting blood sugar levels, which isn't good for insulin resistance. And then that's
Mhm.
going to impact your energy levels, the cravings, your mood. You're going to
Yeah.
increase your levels of the appetite stimulating hormone, ghrelin, and it's going to lead to nutrient deficiencies.
Exactly. And I just, like, a woman with PCOS craves to just have a normal life, to just be able to eat and not feel like you're going to gain weight from it, to just be able to work out and know that it was like worth something, you're going to lose weight. Like, we just want to live a normal life. Telling someone with PCOS to go on a 1 meal a day diet is such a big overhaul of their life and normalcy, and it's such an inconvenience to feel starving all day.
Yeah.
Like, I just like it's annoying when people suggest things that aren't sustainable. And like, if it was me, for example, like keto, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, stop making me do something I don't want to do. Like,
Yeah.
it just, and women with PCOS, we're so vulnerable when we go to the doctor's office because we're going through all of these symptoms. We'll do anything to feel better. But like, it's annoying to get advice like this that, puts you like in a position where when you say, no, I don't want to do that, it almost sounds like you're saying, no, I don't want to manage my PCOS. And I just want to say, like, you don't have to do this. Like, there are better ways to manage your PCOS.
For sure, 100%. Just kind of speaking about this, the other day, this TikTok video came up, and there was like two friends, like these two girls, and the girl was offering her friend like lunch from her house, like, oh, like, what do you want to eat? And her friend was on Ozempic, so she would keep offering her like different like really delicious foods, like, oh, do you want like a burger with fries or something, right? And the girl on Ozempic was like, oh no, like that makes me nauseous. That makes me nauseous. And she basically, and at the end of the video, she was like, I'm not gonna eat anything because I'll get hungry by the evening because everything is making me sick right now. And I was like, man, like this is like not healthy.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting nauseous from delicious food being offered and you can't eat anything until the end of the day when you're hungry enough to eat, I don't know. It's just like it is not a good.
It's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign. I hope that's not the case for everybody.
I think it's just in the beginning when you take it, you experience nausea, and then I think it goes away. Like I've heard. But yeah, like whatever you decide to do, make sure you're happy doing it and you're living your day-to-day life in a state where you're happy about the choices you're making.
Yeah, with that we can go into kind of the last category, which is like juice cleanses and like hormone cocktails. So like a lot of times with the juice cleanses, they really promise like that rapid weight loss or the detoxification, which is in a lot of cases a red flag. You know, no drink is going to give you rapid weight loss unless it's going to give you like diarrhea for the next 7 days and make you lose weight in a very unhealthy way. There's no way. And detoxification, again, is one of those like sexy words that people throw out there to kind of like get your attention. So they might provide you like a temporary boost of nutrients, but sometimes they just lack that essential protein, the fat, and the fiber. So when you have like these like juice cleanses for like several days, you're basically getting these nutrients, yes, but you're not getting any like essential macros like the carbs or the protein, which is like really important for day-to-day management for, you know, weight loss.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about like how the juicing makes it like hard to...
Yeah, I was just going to get into that. When you
Or make it easy, sorry, make it easy.
Yeah, when you juice fruits and vegetables, like yes, you are getting a really concentrated dose of antioxidants and the nutrients that are in them, but it's also stripping away like the fiber and, you know, the cellular structure of the vegetable and the fruit that is meant to help cleanse out your gut. Like imagine celery, okay? You juice it, you drink it. I think it's good for you, especially if it's organic celery juice. But the celery itself is really important. I think it's insoluble fiber. It's not soluble. I think it's insoluble fiber, which means it scrapes away at your intestines and cleans up all of the stuff that needs to get out to help you go to the bathroom.
So I love chia seeds because I can just tell that those chia seeds are just like scraping.
They are. You go to the bathroom right after you have chia seeds. So I stopped putting it in your smoothies.
You put it this way?
I only put a little bit. How'd you know? I did it because I was
blind.
making a video and I put a little bit.
I'm not blind. Okay, I'm not blind, nor am I... My mouth is not numb. I don't know what the word for that is, but I'm not a numb mouth.
It was a berry smoothie. I think you were just looking at the seeds from the blackberries.
Okay, tell
it
the
was
story.
Literally a sprinkle of chia seeds because I was making an Instagram story out of it.
Okay. This is the second time I've known now you drugged my smoothie. Last week you told everybody
I put Ovasitol in it.
You put Ovasitol last week.
I did. You drink
You're doing
it.
more?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I read that it's good.
It is good.
So why are you complaining?
I know a scientist who takes inositol when they go to sleep every night.
Yeah.
Because it's good with blood sugar regulation, and then that gives you better sleep at night.
I'm taking care of you. Okay? You're welcome.
What's next?
Nothing.
You're gonna give me like
I put glutathione.
Testosterone like
I feel
drugs?
like this is like a tell-all podcast episode, like me admitting everything I put in your smoothies.
What else?
Glutathione.
I didn't know that one. What else? I want to know what have you put that you didn't tell me?
Nothing. I think that's it. I can't think of
what have you put and you
put.
realized was a terrible idea. You never told me. I had a terrible day that day. You're like, oh shit, that must be my fault.
It was for sure chia seeds. Like when I used to put them.
Okay, well, Tallene, now that we have you on record, and I will file the divorce papers with these audio recordings so that I'll take this house that never finishes renovating.
Oh god.
All right, we're just messing around. Okay, juice cleanses, and then the other area is people really talk about recently are like hormone cocktails. These are like specific types of like cocktails, obviously like that support like adrenal gland function, and yes, they can be helpful. But what's in them? In a lot of cases, it's just high amounts of certain minerals and nutrients. For example, it might have a lot of sodium or potassium or vitamin C that are like meant to replenish minerals that get depleted by stress and are meant to help like adrenal health. That makes sense. Sometimes they include magnesium in like a powder form that you mix into water. That sounds cool. For sleep and stress management.
I put Ovasitol in my little cocktails.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's similar
to
that.
It. I like a foo-foo drink. Why not? Like I'm gonna drink Ovasitol. I might as well be in a cute cup with a little bit of mint and maybe even use our testosterone relief tea when I make it, and so it has like a good flavor.
So I think overall, like the like hormone cocktails, like it's fun. If it's gonna help you get those nutrients in, that's great.
Yeah.
Just be mindful if they have added sugars, because sometimes like when you buy like mass produced stuff, the flavor in order to make up for the flavor of like the powderized nutrients or whatever, they might add like sugar, or they might add natural flavors which are actually artificial, or just straight up artificial flavors, etc. So just be mindful that you're not having a bunch of chemicals in with those nutrients, and that you're just taking in straight nutrients. Also, it tends to be a bit more expensive to get those hormone cocktails, because you're paying for like the processing of those nutrients and minerals to become like powderized and into a drink. So you're kind of paying more for each serving, versus if you took like, let's say, a direct supplement, you're going to be getting a lot more for your money. So keep that in mind as well.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what makes it fun for you, what makes it easy for you to drink those or get those things in, that's great.
Yeah, I'm into it. We have lots of little mocktail recipes in the Sisterhood app. There's a whole drinks category, different ways to drink your Ovasitol, just so that it's fun and exciting. And, you can batch prepare it and put it in the fridge, and then add your scoop of Ovasitol every time you pour yourself a glass, so you have like the right dosage, and, have fun with it.
Yeah. So with that being said, just the closing remarks, I'm sure you're wondering, like, what do we recommend for PCOS? Like, what diet should you follow? And with that, that's where we kind of say, we don't recommend going on a quote unquote diet for PCOS. It's going to be more of a lifestyle choice that is going to be right for your body.
Right. And I'm sure you've noticed with some of the wins that we read in the beginning of our podcast episode, a lot of sisters say that, they gradually start incorporating new habits. They create a new lifestyle with the PCOS weight loss method. And it's really just about making sustainable changes that make you happy and aren't just like annoying you. You know what I mean? Like keto. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So, for example, what you want to do is really understand your body, and you can try different things. So, for example, trying to go gluten and dairy free to reduce inflammation and improve insulin and androgen levels. You can try it and see if it helps. Try it for 30 days, see if your symptoms improve, reintroduce it back in and see if you have a flare up. That way, you know if this is something that's affecting you. And by knowing if it's affecting you and how it's affecting you, then you will want to actually go gluten-free after that, or maybe cut it out like 50% and make those small changes to improve your symptoms. And now it's like a desire, and it's like an independent choice by you, and not kind of TikTok or someone else telling you like, you need to do this to manage PCOS. Just try it, see how you feel, and then continue doing it.
Yeah, and it's never about perfection, and more so about consistency, no matter what lifestyle you choose. Not every day you have to be perfect with a 12-hour fast, or not every day you have to be perfect with your protein levels, or even going gluten-free. It's about consistency, and then through that consistency, seeing those benefits, which is going to motivate you to do more. And also speaking with your community to see what's helped them. And I'm very sure in many cases, no one is going to be like 100% one thing. As you can see, in like Tallene was talking about, in many of our wins and many of our wins of the weeks, so many sisters talk about going gluten and dairy free 80%, 90% of the time. Some of them talk about how it can be difficult in the first couple of months, and they still see benefits. And some sisters talk about how they try different methods and it's helped them a lot. So it's really important about seeing what's right for you. With that being said, here are some fundamentals that you should think about incorporating that's more so about lifestyle changes. So number one, discovering your carb tolerance. Learn what grams of carbs is right for your body, that doesn't cause you to have cravings, that doesn't cause you to feel fatigue, and that doesn't cause your body to feel deficient. You want to find that perfect level that's going to just help your body feel satisfied.
To discover your carb tolerance, you want to eat between 120 and 150 grams of carbs, and then slowly reduce it to see how you feel. So the next day, maybe you eat between 90 and 120 grams of carbs. See if you feel fatigued after your meals, or if you feel like you're starving, then maybe you don't want to reduce it anymore. You want to stay within that range. So that's, essentially how you discover your carb tolerance and find a range that works for you, not just go completely keto.
Yeah, and in this sisterhood, we have a very planned way of helping you find your carb tolerance. We have like these learn videos, a whole step to helping you discover your carb tolerance, along with downloads and trackers to really help you find out what your carb tolerance should be.
Yes.
Next tip is to make sure you get all 3 meals and a snack in between if needed. It's really important to get all 3 meals and not skip meals. Skipping meals can lead to further cravings and your appetite hormones going up, which is going to cause you to overeat in your next meal. And also, you don't want to snack all day. You don't want to graze all day because that's not going to be beneficial for your insulin resistance either.
Yeah, exactly. When you don't have a balanced meal, you end up grazing and snacking all day, and then your insulin level and blood sugar are high all day.
Yeah.
So you need those periods of fasting between breakfast and lunch, between lunch and dinner. And the only way to do that is to have a balanced meal at
Yes.
those times.
Exactly. And then a 12-hour fast at night. We talked about fasting earlier, but essentially you want to do a 12-hour fast. And then next is 30 grams of protein for breakfast. It's really important to not fast through breakfast.
Exactly. So when you're doing those intense fasts that, we mentioned earlier, it's like you end up skipping breakfast and then that will throw you off. Breakfast is the time of day when your body is ready and insulin sensitive, and you should be eating most of your calories earlier in the day because you wake up insulin sensitive because you haven't eaten all night, right? So your insulin's nice and low. It's like prime time. Now you miss that window, you don't eat your breakfast, you're fasting through it, you're crashing, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're annoyed, your blood sugar's everywhere. Like that's not helpful. You have to have a nice 30 gram of protein breakfast to keep your blood sugar stable throughout the day. Try to eat most of your calories earlier in the day and have like a lighter dinner and then fast for, around 12 hours after that.
And then
I just said the last tip. I just tied it together.
Great. I love it. So that is overall some of the lifestyle things we would highly recommend. And then from there, you can try to, see if you want to go gluten dairy free and see if that works for you and apply other changes that you feel right for your body. And again, with all these tips and habits, we have the Sisterhood app to really help you implement them and help keep you on track, as well as a private Facebook community, the largest PCOS community, where you can ask us and other fellow sisters about your journey and learn from others.
Yes. Hope you enjoyed this episode, sisters.
Yeah.
And we will talk to you soon, give you an update on our house.
Well, this week we're separating, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
This weekend, Tallene goes to San Francisco, basically, to visit her best friend
from college.
And then I'm going on a bachelor trip to Palm Springs. So
have fun.
I will have fun.
Bye.
I will melt in Palm Springs. Basically.
It's like 200 degrees there.
Yeah.
Well.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care.
Bye. What if you had an app for PCOS that could tell you what to eat, when to work out, and how to track your goals every day?
Introducing the Sisterhood app. Not only does the Sisterhood app give you access to the largest community of women with PCOS, but it also provides you with a daily PCOS plan.
Your daily PCOS plan tells you exactly what to eat for each meal of the day. It's like having me as a dietitian in your pocket. It also sends you a notification when it's time to work out, and it provides step-by-step videos to help you reverse your biggest PCOS symptoms.
You also get access to 100 plus gluten and dairy-free recipes, the 5 Steps to PCOS Weight Loss Masterclass, and a full PCOS-friendly workout library to choose from.
But let's not forget the most crucial component of PCOS weight loss, the support. You're not alone. In the Sisterhood, you become part of the largest community of PCOS women where you can chat with us in our private Facebook group. Sirak, myself, and your fellow sisters are in there every day to answer your questions and support you along the way.
So what are you waiting for? You can head over to the App Store and search Sisterhood, or click the link in the description to get started today.
See you in there.